Vector integration is Kazakhstan's chosen course of development, and the program Single Market.
Harmonization of efforts is an important requirement for achieving success, not only for artists and athletes. Achievements of sectors and entire economies of countries united by integration associations depend on this process. Hello, my name is Pavel Koktishev. In today's program, the rules of the game, home tasks of the governments of the Eurasian Economic Union, the New Silk Way, harmonization of efforts of different countries. And coming right up, trends, plans of the Republic join the OECD. What is the OECD? It is a sort of club of countries with successful economies. The membership of this Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development includes 34 countries. The process of ascension to the OECD begins with the granting of a temporary observer status in one of its committees. There are around 30 countries with this status in the organization. There's the same number of various working groups with the participation of intergovernmental forums, the European Commission, and a number of international organizations. This will immediately increase the investment attractiveness of the country and will open up access to cheaper funds of international institutions, as well as allow implementing higher standards of advanced technologies in shorter periods. Kazakhstan has embarked on the path of cooperation with this organization in 2011. By the decree of the head of state, a special program of stage-by-stage ascension to the OECD was adopted. In the first stage, the country applied for getting the permanent observer status in 4 committees on innovation and entrepreneurship, investment and agriculture, industry and education. The Commission reviewed these applications and approved them. Since 2012, Kazakhstan has been a member of the Global OECD Forum on Transparency and Exchange of Information in the System of Taxation. Since 2013, a member of the Committee on Industry, Innovation and Entrepreneurship and a co-chair of the Central Asian Initiative of the Eurasian Program on Competitiveness. Since 2015, a member of the countrywide Program on Cooperation. In the upcoming 2016, Kazakhstan will become a member of the Committee on OECD Investments. And to summarize, it is not just about the status which is granted by the membership in the OECD. This is, first and foremost, an opportunity to gain access to the best practices in public administration and economic development. The fall of 2015 was a period for making sure the governments and business communities of the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union are on the same page. The Eurasian prime ministers closed on the season by discussing pressing issues of integration, and entrepreneurs exchanged opinions on how to better interact on the market. Fall for the governments of Eurasian Economic Union countries is a period for summarizing interim results, and this makes sense. Until the end of the year, they still have time to compare notes and determine in which aspects their actions are in tune and where there are discrepancies. Perhaps today it is possible to contest the opinion of skeptics regarding the absence of visible results of the joint work of the Eurasian Intergovernmental Council at the Eurasian Economic Commission. In any case, these entities are entering the winter period of 2015 with a substantial baggage of experience. Their policy-making portfolio includes a strategically important and approved document, the main directions of the industrial cooperation within the framework of the Eurasian Economic Union. This document is a sort of an industrial constitution of the EEU and is symbolic in all respects. In the post-Soviet space, it is the first time that this type of legislative foundation has been laid within the context of an integration association. We are going through quite a difficult economic period. The circumstances are different from the time when the Union was being established. Aside from background collisions in the drafting of the main direction of Eurasian Economic Union industrial cooperation, the pluralism and competence of opinions were taken into account. We involved all the interested entities, all federal executive state bodies, business representatives and ministers, because everyone understands that this document is very important. This document is very important first and foremost because of the clearly defined aims. Among them, a couple of key directions can be highlighted. Important substitution, According to the assessment of the Eurasian Economic Commission, the highest levels of imports in the Eurasian Economic Union were registered for these product categories. Leather products and shoes, 79.6%. Pharmaceutical products, 71.8%. Textile and sewn products, 58.9%. Electric and optical equipment, 55.2%. Machines and equipment, 54.1%. Chemical products, 52.1%. This situation could have been optimized through expansion of trade and economic ties on the Eurasian market. What's more, the member countries have their own best practices and prospective plans. For example, Russia and Belarus have a potential in machine building, Kazakhstan, production of chemical products, Armenia, manufacturing of shoes. That is why a task is posed before the relevant ministries of the Eurasian Economic Union to coordinate their national economic plans. The task that is set before our ministry is to maximize, increase coordination between these strategic plans for achieving maximum results. If we're talking about the state program of forced industrial innovative development, then of course there's a great array of instruments that are used for supporting the processing industries in various sectors. Deepening industrial cooperation. This process will be taking place within the framework of the EEU through increasing the localization of existing assembly productions and realization of joint productions in the priority sectors of the economy. All your partners in the production of goods, some produce motherboards, some the body frames, and they're all located in one area. And this allows creating a product and contributing value added to a related product. It is very important to establish a chain in industrial production. Implementation of innovations. According to the plans of the Eurasian integration partner countries on the issues of innovative development, cooperation will be relied on more and more. The main branches are formation of Eurasian technological platforms, realization of joint projects in the spheres of production and scientific research, creation of a Eurasian engineering center, and support for the Eurasian Bank of Development. Industrial parks, clusters, technological platforms, and projects that we see as mechanisms of support. And hence, the first strategic document spelling out the concrete steps in the sphere of industrial cooperation has already been taken. I would like to express confidence in the fact that today's agreements will serve towards the further gradual development of the Union. Practical implementation sets everything into its place. The author of these words is the head of the Belarusian government, Andrei Kobyakov. I would dare to continue this phrase with my own interpretation. Practical implementation is the very criteria that will determine how right the governments of the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union were in selecting the priorities of Eurasian economic integration. The Great Silk Way. According to history, the decision of the Chinese emperor of the Han Dynasty to send a messenger to Europe was the beginning of this ancient transit project. And then trade caravans followed the tracks of this diplomatic mission. By the way, there were many routes. Today, within the current geo-economic realities, an opportunity has arisen to unite them all into one global project. And each region of every participant country can make their contribution to this project. The Silk Way. Transport, logistics, infrastructure. The international exhibition that was held this autumn in Shymkent, in the regional center of the South Kazakhstan region, united all these spheres. The location for hosting this exhibition was not chosen randomly. We share a border with Uzbekistan, which is en route to Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iran. Along our eastern border is Kyrgyz. The gates, which for us are an entrance point for products from China. The western border is with Russia. More than 50 companies from various countries and working in the spheres of project design and construction of roads, production of equipment for infrastructural objects, and diagnostics and maintenance of specialized equipment took part in the exhibition. The majority of the companies represented the sector of cargo shipment, and each one of them demonstrated their capacities within the new realities in the sphere of logistics. We can pick up a shipment, deliver it to the customs warehouse, and not pass it through customs clearance until, for example, the client finds a buyer for their product. Kazakhstan's main strategic partners in the sphere of transport logistics are countries of the Eurasian Economic Union. First and foremost, this is Russia. The common goals extend beyond the framework of Eurasian integration. Today, the intersection of interest of Russia and Kazakhstan is becoming more notable within the context of the project of the transnational transport corridor, Western Europe, Western China. The movement of products from China to Europe through Kazakhstan and Russia, this route is very important for us and for your country. That is why the innovative practices that we have developed in the sphere of logistics, it would be great to implement them in your country. What's more, there is active construction of modern transport and logistics zones in Kazakhstan, which includes a whole array of objects for creating an effective system of reception, sorting, storage, and shipment of cargo. For example, in the South Kazakhstan region, in the last 5 years, cargo turnover increased by 25%. With the currently existing capacities, only 8% of the total demands of the region are satisfied. As a result, there is now a shortage of storage facilities. In the near future, this situation will change. Today, a modern transport and logistics zone is being built in Shymkent. A territory was allocated 2 kilometers away from the airport, within a distance of 4 kilometers from the Western Europe, Western China highway, and 500 meters away from the transit railway line. And this location makes this logistics center unique in terms of possibilities in the shipment of cargo. Already, 6 storage facilities are being built on the territory of the special zone. Among them is the Class A Transport and Logistics Center, for now the one and only in the South Kazakhstan region. Annually, up to 1 million tons of cargo will be passing through this center. In the first stage of construction, 10,000 square meters of dry storage facilities will be built, and the same for facilities for the storage of products that require a specific temperature regime. Climate-controlled storage is divided into a couple of temperature storage modes, of more prolonged freezer storage, assuming that there is a gas cooling system. Thus, various climate conditions will be provided. One can imagine how this will all look like by looking at the example of the Trade and Logistics Center that was recently opened in Astana. Practically, a full range of products can be stored in the climate-controlled warehouses, but first and foremost, perishable goods. The South Kazakhstan region traditionally specializes in agricultural production. That is why the possibilities offered by these storage facilities will give an impulse to not only the development of this sector, but also to the improvement of its export potential. We have a time window of 2 to 3 weeks ahead of Europe in the southern part of Russia. This is how much earlier we collect our harvest. And this gives us an opportunity to be more effective in entering these markets and to produce products at a price that is more advantageous for our producers. By the way, the interest expressed by the representatives of European countries shows that they see Kazakhstan as a new platform for their business. For example, the company, Minard Vibro, operates in the sphere of geotechnologies. Its representatives see good prospects in the realization of infrastructural projects of Kazakhstan. We see great potential here. That is why a decision was made to open a representative office in Kazakhstan, which will cover the entire Central Asia. Abundance of discussed topics, wide geography of participants, mutual exchange of information regarding new plans and opportunity to personally visit the construction sites of new objects. All this, according to the independent experts, marks the exhibition Silk Way, Transport, Logistics, Infrastructure as the highlight event of this fall. Yerkebulan Bekmuhammed, Yerlan Uralbekov, exclusively for Single Market. That's all for today. Kind reminder, all the episodes of our program are available on .kazakh-tv.kz. See you in the Single Market, in the territory which has no borders.